Okay, so we have dry, oily combo and normal skin, and we also have another kind which is called Fitzpatrick, which Fitzpatrick skin condition. We have 1 to what? 1 to 6. Yes, 1 to 6.
Mr. Ali,
Yes,
did
go
you
ahead.
say Fitzpatrick is a skin condition or skin?
Skin type, sorry.
Okay.
We have a skin condition, we have a skin type. These are a skin type dry. This is an oily skin, this is a aesthetic, and this one is also aesthetic skin typing. What is this for oily skin, for this type of skin, dry, oily combo skin? Do you know how we say which skin is dry and which one is not dry or oily or combo or normal skin? I'll go through all those things.
So
And
that's
what?
a condition?
No, these are all skin type.
Type?
Yes. Conditions is something that you get it, either internal or external. Like hyperpigmentation is condition, yes. Telangiectasia is a skin condition because the skin becomes thin. Those are a skin condition. But these things, we born with it. What is the skin Fitzpatrick? Fitzpatrick is based on the burning of the skin, yes? So if you, so first you have to burn your skin to see what is your Fitzpatrick. But most of, yes, based on the sun exposure. And Fitzpatrick, there is something very important about this Fitzpatrick, ladies. And Fitzpatrick 4 and 5, yes? These two Fitzpatrick are the most dangerous Fitzpatrick from the perspective of an esthetician or a master esthetician from our job. Do you know why? The reason they have so many active melanocytes. You can trigger the melanocyte and all of a sudden you get hyperpigmentation, which is very, very bad. Fitzpatrick 6. The skin that is dark skin African people, they have Fitzpatrick 6. Fitzpatrick 6, they have built-in SPF of 13. And that's why the African people, African origin people, they age way, way later than other people. Because their skin is dark, they have so many melanin, and their skin has Fitzpatrick, SPF 13. We talked about SPF yesterday. Let me repeat this SPF. What is SPF? Let's say, what is the SPF 10? Let's see, we have something that says SPF 10, yes? What does it mean? Means if I go to the sun and my skin burns in 20 minutes, yes? 20 minutes. My skin burns in 20 minutes. And then if I use a sunscreen with SPF 10, what does it mean? It means 20 minutes multiply SPF 10 would be 200 minutes. Now my skin has protection for 200 minutes, which means about 2 hours, yes, or 3 hours. But for sunscreen, we better to renew sunscreen every almost 2 hours. It depends on the box of sunscreen. It says how many hours, 80 minutes or 2 hours, 90 minutes or so. We need to repeat 2 hours. So for somebody who has peeling, who's done the chemical peel, you need to recommend to reapply the sunscreen every 2 hours. Now let's go back to what type of sunscreen. I'll be back to these things, but let me talk about what type of sunscreen do you use on somebody who has done a chemical peel, yes? What type of sunscreen do you use on somebody who has chemical peel? Somebody who has chemical peel, let's see, this is the skin, yes? And somebody who has done chemical peel means a few layers of the superficial layer of the skin is already gone, yes? The skin has less protection. We remove these things with chemical peel or with microdermabrasion, yes? Or whatever you do. Now, this skin has less protection against everything. What kind of sunscreen do you use on it? We have two type of sunscreen, ladies. We have the sunscreen which is called, one is called mineral, and the other one is chemical sunscreen. Mineral is also called physical sunscreen. Physical sunscreen and chemical sunscreen. Mineral or physical sunscreen, it goes like a layer on the surface of the skin. It doesn't penetrate into the skin. It doesn't get into the skin. So it goes and makes a layer on the surface of the skin like this. So when the sun rays coming, it comes here and the sunscreen reflected. Yes? And chemical sunscreen, on the other hand, is different. Chemical sunscreen, when you apply chemical sunscreen on your face, the chemical sunscreen, you apply it on the skin, yes? It needs about 20 minutes, ladies, to get inside the skin, goes into the skin, and now here.
That's for chemical.
That's the chemical sunscreen. It goes under the skin on this layer. And what's happened? When the sunlight is coming, UV rays is coming, it goes to the, past the skin, goes to this layer, and what's happened? Absorb here. It doesn't reflect. Some people, they don't like chemical sunscreen because they said the UV goes inside the skin and absorb and may heat up the skin. Because the radiation, this UV radiation, this one reflects, this one absorbs the skin, and it can heat up the skin. Heat is one of the causes of hyperpigmentation. When there is heat, is hyperpigmentation. Okay, so we have UV radiation. When you did a chemical peel or something on your skin, you already damage your skin. Yes. When you apply the chemical sunscreen penetrates into the skin, gets into the skin. So you are putting some unnecessary chemical to the skin. That is chemical. So why you don't want to irritate your skin with another chemical, which is chemical sunscreen. So it is not a good choice. When you have clients or yourself, when you do any microdermabrasion, chemical peel, or any treatment on your skin, and you already kind of irritated your surface of the skin, you better to make a cover with chemical, with mineral sunscreen. So how do you know which sunscreen is chemical or physical? I have two here, ladies. This one is a Neutrogena 110 SPF, and this one is a mineral sunscreen with SPF 50. Mineral sunscreen has only two ingredients: zinc oxide and titanium dioxide. So if you see these two on any sunscreen, that means they are physical or mineral sunscreen. If you look at the ingredient of this sunscreen that I have, it says mineral sunscreen. It says titanium dioxide 4.5% and zinc oxide 6.5%. This is a chemical sunscreen. And this one is, sorry, that one is a physical or mineral sunscreen. And if you look at this one is a combination of different chemicals. So this is a chemical sunscreen. This one is a physical or mineral sunscreen. So if you are doing anything on your skin, you better to use a mineral sunscreen on top of the skin, so it reflects the UV light and it doesn't absorb to the skin. And also, in case it may absorb the UV and may the chemical sunscreen, it may not heat up the skin and makes more chance of hyperpigmentation. Okay, now I have one here, it says 110, and I have this sunscreen which says 50 plus. Yes, based on the new FDA regulation, you cannot have anything. You cannot say sunscreen is more than 50 SPF. This is old. and it's on sale because they want to get rid of it. This is a Neutrogena 110. Because the reason is, let's say you have a sunscreen with 30, okay, 50 and 110. If you have a sunscreen of 30, how much protection you get with sunscreen of 30? Let's say it's about 97%, yes? What about a sunscreen of 50? How much protection you get with sunscreen of 50? 98.1%. What about 110? How much protection you get with this 110 sunscreen? 99.1%, yes? This 110, it has so much chemical. You're exposing your skin to a lot of chemical just to get just 1% protection, and it doesn't really worth it. It doesn't really worth it, and that's why FDA regulate, so you don't have to, you cannot say more than 50%. If you want, you can say 50 plus, not 50. As yours, as this one says 50 plus, not 50. We have two types of UV rays. Yes, we have more, but from our perspective, we have only two. We have UVA and UVB, yes? UVA and UVB. Let's talk a little bit about UV and UVB. We had questions about UVA and UVB. UVA, UVB. Okay, now, which one is for aging? Which one makes aging? Which one is burn the skin? UVE is for aging. Yes? UVA? Aging. Yes, UVA, aging. UVB, B, burning.
Good job, Maya.
UVA, UVB, aging and burning. Which one is more prevalent? That means which one is more? Which one do we have more, UVA or UVB? When you go by how many percentage? That's right, 95% of the UV that we have is UVA. And only 5%, about 5% is UVB. Now the question is, when we say SPF, SPF measure which one? UVA, UVB, or both? Or nothing? UVB.
SPF is protection for UVB.
SPF measure protection against UVB, not UVA. So when it says SPF 50 means it has 97 or 98% protection against UVB. What about UVA? UVA, it has to have, it says broad spectrum. When it says broad spectrum, that means it has protection against, see, broad spectrum. When it says broad spectrum, means it has protection against UVA and UVB, both. But SPF by itself is only protection about UVB, not UVA. Which one can cause cancer? UVA or UVB? A. Both. Yes, UVA and UVB. For tanning salon, which one is used in tanning salon? UVA. If it was UVB, then it would be burning. Yes, you don't want to burn people in the tanning salon. Why UVA is cause aging, ladies? Why UVA cause aging and UVB is not? If this is the skin, yes. This is the epidermis. This is dermis. Okay. So when we have UVA, UVB, UVB. UVB only goes to very superficial layer of the skin. Only here. On the other hand, UVA goes deep inside the skin, goes to the dermis layer of the skin. And when it goes deep inside the dermis layer of the skin, what is in the dermis layer of the skin? There is collagen and elastin, yes? And it damages collagen and elastin. When the collagen and elastin is damaged, what's happened? There is less collagen and elastin. And when there is less collagen and elastin, means there is more wrinkles. Okay, ladies, so we have UVB and UVA, and that's why we call it aging, because it penetrates deep inside the skin, and when it goes in deep inside the skin, it damages the collagen and elastin. When the collagen and elastin is damaged, then there is wrinkle. Which one is Wood's lamp, ladies? UVA or UVB, or none of them? It is UVA.
Oh, Wood's lamp is UVA.
Yes, do you know why?
Where we can look down.
Yes, the reason is UVA because we wanted to see UVA past the epidermis. This is epidermis, yes? Because we wanted to see what's going underneath of epidermis. So we are using UVA. So it passes the epidermis, goes into the dermis, and then if there is anything into the dermis like hyperpigmentation, it bounces back. Now we can see it. And do you remember we said if there is any hyperpigmentation, the source is in epidermis, the border is a kind of blurry, because UV is a light anyway, is a kind of light anyway, because it has to pass all the way here, go to the skin, and then come back. So this passing this UV all the way, go and come back, distract, disperse the light. And that's why the border of the hyperpigmentation is kind of blurry, isn't it? And if the hyperpigmentation is in epidermis, let's say here, then the light doesn't pass too much of the skin, doesn't go into the skin. Yes, what's happened? It comes here, reflect back immediately, and that's why we see the border so sharp. That's UVA, Wood's lamp UVA.